right, what's everybody gonna take?
I would have to
25
first. I'm pretty 2-7.
27.
26.
Yeah.
But add that head on there.
Yeah, I didn't have his head.
No. Well, yeah, it would have been 1 more pound and I would have been right on.
Bingo.
Hey,
27.
These black bugs,
Oh, they're
dude.
terrible. All right, guys, today we are going to clean a turtle. Luke and I snatched up this giant common snapping turtle yesterday, and that's something you want to be aware of when you are getting turtles. First, make sure that you're abiding by your state's laws, because it's a little different for turtles. In Iowa, if you have a fishing license, you can catch turtles by certain means. You also want to make sure that it's a common and not a alligator snapping turtle, which they're not endangered, but some states have them protected. This is a common because it has a smooth back. It does have ridges on the bottom of its shell and its tail, but a alligator will have 3 impressive rows of spines. And so this is a common, so we're good. So the thing about turtles is they are ancient and their nervous systems don't need a lot to survive. This thing has been headless for at least 4 hours, and it's still like very responsive to, you'll see as we start to cut it up, like it's gonna act like it's alive, but I promise it's as dead as you can get it without doing what we're about to do to it and take its guts out. So that's a little graphic warning ahead of time that it's going to look like it's reacting to being cut, and there's really nothing to be done about that. So first thing, because of that, we're gonna start pulling its nails out so it doesn't scratch me while we're doing this. So get you a good pair of pliers. I have my struggle bus. I haven't done this with the past ones. This was Luke's idea, so we blame him for these failures.
So our jewelry line is gonna be put on hold for a few turtles. We were thinking about making some earrings and some fashionable necklaces, but our assembly line workers here can't quite seem to get the technique down on pulling them out in one piece. So more to come.
That's kind of what I'm wondering, if we're done, we haven't gained anything. All right, well, so we'll get started.
Yeah, those are terrible.
So the first thing to do is get rid of this bottom shell.
What are you gonna use to get them things, to get the bottom half? Tin snips?
I've got tin snips and I also have some hefty game shears. So
Okay.
we'll try a couple things here. This is far and away the biggest turtle I've ever cleaned. So
It's a little bit of a brew.
it's gonna take some elbow grease, I think.
How old do you think this thing is?
It's a good question. I would love to know.
Because what's a lifetime limit on a common snapping turtle? I know alligator snapping turtles can live to be 100 years old.
Yeah. I honestly have no idea. I'd love to know.
I know, for some reason, 40 years is coming to mind, but I can't remember if that was finding a snapping turtle that was 40 years old. If they're 40 years old is their max. I think they can live longer than that, but I'm not sure. That's one thing I was asking Luke on the way here. What's the bag limit and possession limit on something like this?
Yeah, so it's measured not in number of turtles, but in pounds.
Okay.
And I believe I read you can have 100 pounds of whole turtles and 50 pounds of dressed turtles in your possession.
It's quite a bit.
Well, yeah, it's convenient. This one's 25.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could have 4 of these.
That's a lot of turtle.
It's a lot of turtle.
And then on this bottom shell is the only 2 places that it connects to the body then on the 2 sides that you're cutting?
Think front and back.
Front and back too? I wonder what the fat content on a turtle is. If they'd have fatty deposits kind of like other animals anywhere else.
Right, they spend
You
their
gotta
winter
think-
like burrowing in the mud. They don't even breathe.
Yeah, basically comatose. So I would imagine they have to have some kind of fat.
reserve. Yeah, I think you're right.
So when you're butchering this thing up, Noah, is there different, I know it's gonna have your typical meat chunks, but are they pretty similar to other animals like back straps, hams? I don't even know what you would call the neck meat other than neck meat.
Right. So they say turtle has something like 5 different types of meat in it. And what they mean by that is different shades of meat. So you'll see as we get into this, you can even see it now. Like here's some, nice red meat that you can see on beef or deer. This is meat. This is white meat.
I was gonna say his neck meat is totally different,
right? And the leg meat's gonna be different. The backstrap meat, and it's gonna be different. So there's it appears to be different meat from different animals because of the different colors in it.
That's wild.
Okay, so step 1, we removed the bottom shell. Step 2, we're gonna cut the feet off. That's what we're working on right now. There's just a joint right here in kind of the foot, and that we're just cutting through that. You really shouldn't need a saw or anything. Just find that joint and cut through it. Okay, so we've got the feet removed. Next step is to start taking the leg meat off. And so I'm just gonna start kind of cutting along the backside of the shell and just cut it loose wherever I see that it's still attached. There are guts in here, so I'm gonna have to be cautious of that not to puncture in its digestive tract and soil the meat that way. His meat is cold to the touch. Usually you're cleaning an animal and it's warm because it's body, but it's a cold-blooded animal. The meat is colder than the air.
That's wild. Dude, look at his heart. 4 hours later and that thing's still pumping, man. I'm kind of blown away by the blood.
There's a lot of blood, especially given that I cut his head off and hung him upside down for 4 hours.
But it's almost like a different shade.
It's dark
It's
blood.
it's like watery too.
It is watery. It's not like clotting up so much.
No.
Like other blood. Yeah, I agree with that.
Because here's the thing, let me give you the scientific explanation as to white meat versus dark meat.
I'd love to hear it.
So your dark meat is gonna come from higher concentrations of low twitch muscle fibers, meaning your long usage. Marathon runners have a lot of slow twitch and higher oxygenated blood, which oxygenates the muscles, thus making a darker muscle or meat. Your whiter meats are going to come from your slow or your fast twitch muscle fibers that don't require or don't have the oxygen buildup. It's muscle groups that you use for a little bit more explosive stuff.
And that's lighter meat?
That's lighter meat.
It makes sense why his neck's...
I guess that would be why his neck is probably, his legs probably aren't used quite as much of his neck because he sits for an extended period of time, would be my only guess. And then I don't know how well the human anatomy translates over to turtle anatomy, but...
It's like one of the same.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're cut from the same cloth. At least
Pretty sure
Luke is. Luke's bony like a turtle. So now what? We're about 4.5 hours in post head lop. That's wild. We're trying to figure out how we're gonna preserve this shell. Obviously, we've never done this before. If anybody has any suggestions on how to do that, because we really want to preserve the shell, keep it in some future videos, hang it in the garage, tell some stories about it. We're not quite sure how to go about finishing the product, so to speak. So if anybody has anything, let us know. Drop something in the comments or message us or something, because we would really love to keep this thing. It's too cool not to keep. But well, again, we just don't have any, we don't even know where to start. All right, so here's my question. So on other animals, the back straps, primarily deer, are the cream of the crop cut meat, mostly because they are very high used muscle. To cut the back straps out of this thing, what in the actual crap are these muscles being used for? I can only imagine that that has got to be one of the most tender cuts coming off of this thing, because it's a muscle that doesn't seem like it'd be hardly used. And again, that might just be my ignorance to turtle anatomy, but...
I told you to bone up on turtle anatomy before we film this.
Think about how strong your neck is.
Maybe it connects to the neck and that retracts it out. Ah, that makes sense.
Their neck and jaw is so strong. That's probably where all that comes from.
I would just think that a muscle encapsulated in basically a bone material all the way around. What the heck?
I should have.
That looks like pork too.
One of those 5 types of meat. Yeah.
So what do we got? Beef, we got chicken in here, a little pork. Pretty labor intensive, but you get quite a bit of meat.
It's gotta be very good.
I can only imagine. It's just a pure muscle, and it's a predatory animal. Scavenges a little bit, but. Now what's the next step after the meat gets done? Are you gonna set it in salt water or?
I'll probably rinse it off, then vacuum seal it just like everything and throw it in the freezer. So we do our primal plate.
Even the fat on this thing, it's almost like curdled.
I see what you're saying, yeah. All right, that is all the meat from a mature snapping turtle. And I'm not a pro, I probably left a little behind, but I feel like I did pretty good for meat harvest.
How many pounds do you think you got?
I don't know, 5 to 10. Tail, neck, 4 legs, and back straps in here. That is gonna make a hell of a pot of stew.
And a great primal plate.
A great primal plate. All right, guys, well today we cleaned a mature common snapping turtle. And it's tough, but it's doable. And in my experience in the past, it's very tasty. So if you're out fishing and you happen to catch a snapping turtle, or I don't know, if you happen upon one and you have a legal method to take, I would encourage you to do what I just did, clean it up, Google a good recipe, or watch Primal Plate, how we do it, and make some turtle soup. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to the video. The more of that you do, the easier it is for us to continue to make these kind of videos and show how to do these kind of things.
You guys have any other turtle recipes that you've done, seen, heard of in the past? Let us know, because we've got way more meat than we need to do for the turtle soup that we're gonna do. We'd like to try it out because it looks like pretty quality meat. So let us know in the comments. Again, let us know if there's anything you'd like to see us do with that shell. If you have any ideas on how to clean that thing off the best, we're gonna do some research, but if there's some tips and tricks, let us know. See you next time.